Hey everyone, thanks for tuning in. I'm having a great time here at the Melbourne International Coffee Expo, and I've got with me Dan from Story Behind the Cup, who's got a fantastic Instagram. You should definitely check him out. And I just wanted to ask him a few quick questions about how his coffee expo is going. So how is it going? Tell me a little bit about your experience today, and what's exciting you about the coffee industry, especially in Melbourne.
Yeah, well, I mean, today's obviously one of the great days in for Melbourne coffee. To come here to the showgrounds today to have exposure to all these different incredible brands, stands, products, and obviously have exposure to all the different baristas, coffee roasters. It's really one of the great days of Melbourne coffee. Where I guess the whole industry comes together to acknowledge the coffee industry. So it's really been a brilliant day so far. Story Behind the Cup has been a part-time project that I've been focusing on for probably 12 months now, and it's great to sort of see it continue to progress and to grow and to help share people's stories. I think that's really what it's all about, to be able to share people in the industry, and everyone's got a cool story and everyone's got a different story to share, and I think a lot of the time people don't really realise what goes into their coffee. So you might sit on a Sunday and sip your latte or your flat white, and you don't really know what's actually gone into that cup and where it's come from. So I think that's what we're all about, is helping share that story.
Oh, fantastic. And I guess I've been wandering around today as well, and I've got a few insights about what I think is some of the coolest stuff I've seen. But what about for yourself? Is there a standout, anyone who's impressing you the most?
Yeah, I think so. I think it's great to see the big brands. So it's great to see the Five Senses and the Sensory Labs and the big brands. But I think it's also really cool to see some of the smaller, coffee brands and coffee companies out there. And I think it's so diverse, the industry, and it's very hard to pinpoint a favourite or something that really stands out, because there is so much. But it's great to see like little brands. I think that's where, it's the new roasters. Even the roasting alley is really cool, just to walk through and check out all the different.
As well, it's like, would you ask anyone in Melbourne's coffee industry to go and start a new roastery with all that competition?
No,
You'd be like,
it's just so competitive.
Yeah.
And I think that it's, as I said before, it's so hard to stand out from the crowd and to be in a position where people are so competitive. And it's like, well, you see all these cafes trying different things, your matcha lattes and your turmeric lattes and all these different types of coffees to try and stand out from the crowd, and to try and generate a bit of awareness and a bit of noise around what they're trying to do. But how do you make a point of difference? Like how do you do it? So I think that's where the you just need to stick to the basics, and you just need to really focus on producing good quality coffee. And I think in Melbourne, if that's what you can do, then you're sort of setting yourself up for success.
For sure. I guess, what's your opinion on coffee trends as well? We've seen deconstructed coffee come and go, matcha coffee come and go. Some of the other ones. Is there something that's going to stick, or is it just that the filters and espressos of that make everyone's morning are going to keep delivering?
Yeah, I think I enjoy the innovation. I like to see like to see the new products out there. I like to see people trying different things. I like to see different companies trying different ways of presenting. So I think I don't have an issue with it. As long as you stick to the core of the coffee, like the whole deconstructed sort of trend is. It's good to see, but I think when they sometimes charge ridiculous amounts just to.
I love a $12 coffee as much as the next person. But
I think it's just absolutely ridiculous. Like some of the prices, like some of the costs involved, like that's just.
That's what innovation costs.
It's taking the piss, really. I get they have to cover costs of rent and all that sort of stuff. But I mean, those sort of things where they are trying to charge exorbitant amounts for the coffee, like that's just not really. I don't think that's really very very ethical. Really.
For sure. And I guess, did you want to talk a little bit about the future for Story Behind the Cup? Anything exciting coming up that you want to discuss or anything like that?
So
or?
there's I got sort of 2 or 3 exciting things. I probably won't mention specifically exactly what we got coming up, just to try and I guess keep things a bit under wraps. But we've got some really cool collaborations coming up probably in the next 2 to 3 months. Some longer term things that we're working on at the moment, but there's certainly some opportunities for Story Behind the Cup branding, which is really, as I said, now become more and more of a brand, and people are constantly getting in contact about how to get featured, how to get their brand on our page, which is quite cool. So there's some collaborations coming up in the near future. So keep your eyes out for it, and it's quite exciting. It's quite innovative. So any opportunity to collaborate or align with other Melbourne-based brands, I'm all for. So there's certainly some exciting things coming up.
Cool. Well, thank you so much for chatting with us today, Dan, from Story Behind the Cup. Definitely check him out on Instagram. And otherwise, we'll be back with some more cool interviews from movers and shakers for the rest of the show.